So I'm going to talk a little bit about machine learning with R. So questions you may have is R suitable for machine learning? And how do I run R machine learning jobs on HPC systems like UPPMAX, HPC2N, or LUNARC? So the idea here is to give you a short introduction to machine learning with R, a little bit about the workflow, and then show the structure of a suitable batch script, and then give you a few examples to try. So R provides many packages specifically designed for machine learning. And R is also known for statistical capabilities for analysis and interpretation of data. This makes it all easier to develop and deploy models, also without having to write a lot of code yourself. There are many powerful packages both for machine learning and data science. And then I have a list here of some of the popular packages. And there are many, many more. So because of that, I would say that R is probably quite suitable for machine learning. So you have some code you want to run. What is the workflow? Well, first you determine if you need any R libraries or packages that are not already installed. So you would load the R module and then the R packages, R bundle bioconductor, R bundle CRAN, whatever, depending on center. And then you will go into R and check if you can load the library. And if you can, then all is good. Otherwise, you need to install missing libraries packages in an isolated environment. Then you figure out, do I want to run CPUs or GPUs with those? Some of the R version modules are not CUDA aware. And you may also possibly have to download any dataset you need. Then you are ready to go. You write a batch script and you submit it to the batch system. So let's have a very short example here that you can type along to. And if you cannot access remote dataset, then change the R code as mentioned inside to use a local dataset, and that is here. And here, this is mainly for UPPMAX that you need to do this. So if you cannot access remote dataset, then comment out this. And I have already commented it out, so this works for UPPMAX. And the dataset should be in this directory here. Yes, it's here. Good. So this works for UPPMAX. If you're on HPC2N or LUNARC, comment out this, put a hashtag in front of those two lines, and then remove the hashtag in front of this here and this here. Otherwise, just use the files that are already in the exercises/R directory, because there is already one here that you can use. But I believe, let's see, I just want to check it. Okay, you have to actually make the changes to the file, but the file is here. So you can open it, you don't need to download it. Open this file, and if you're on UPPMAX, you're good to go. If you're on HPC2N or LUNARC, comment out this line and this line, and then remove the out commenting of this line and this line. Okay, so this is on UPPMAX. So here I am going to load these packages here. And this is not something I need to worry about because I'm not running RStudio right now. And I am then going to run this, and I'm going to run it on the login node just to show you how it works. And it's a very short program, so it's not a problem. You can see first it loads some packages, and then it runs this program here. like this. And I would suggest that you try and do this just to see it run. And there is one here for each of the centers. The main difference is what you need to load, and then that you may need to make the small change in this R script. And I guess we could take a couple minutes, just 2 minutes or something, and let you try and run this. Okay, were people able to run? I guess give a thumbs up if you were able to run it. Okay, I'm seeing one who was able to run it, two. Okay, I'm going to assume people could run it. At least 3 of you. Okay, it looks like you were able to run it. So let's move to our batch script for machine learning. Since many of the R codes for machine learning runs quite a long time, you have to run them in a batch script, also to not give problems for other people on the login node. So first, let's look how we would do that on CPUs. And I have a short serial example for running the same R code as above. And it's a serial one, so I'm just asking for 1 core. And then I'm loading the same modules, and then I'm running the R script from within this batch script. And this one is the one you are using if you're on UPPMAX. So if you are on UPPMAX, you can just try and go ahead and submit this batch job. And it is here in this directory, and it is this one here, iris_ml-rackham.sh. You would submit it with sbatch and then this script here, like this. And then you can run sq --me and see that it is, for me, currently pending. And now it's running. And it will create an output file. It will call slurm minus the job id.out. And we can try and see if it has time to do anything in it. And you can see here it's running and it has more or less, it has finished. Great. And again, you have a similar script on HPC2N and on LUNARC. The only differences are the project ID and the modules that you need to load. And on both HPC2N and LUNARC, there are prerequisites, and you need the R-bundle bioconductor package or module. And also you needed to make the small change within the iris_ml.r script. But if you're on UPPMAX, just use this one and you should be able to run immediately. So again, let's take 1-2 minutes and let people try and run it. Okay, could people run it? Or did anyone have problems, anything? Okay, looks like it was successful. It's good. Let's go on then to machine learning on GPUs. Again, as I talked about earlier today on batch jobs with GPUs, you now, if you're on UPPMAX, need to tell it to run on Snowy, which has the GPUs, and you need to tell it how many GPUs. So we're asking for 1 here. And then we load again this package here and we run it. And in this case, I am running rscript.r, and that should be a GPU. It should be using GPUs. I'm just going to check something. That should work. Okay, so you could then submit the script here. And otherwise, if you're on HPC2N, the difference here again is how you ask for GPUs and the project ID, of course. Here we're asking for 1 GPU on the L40S GPUs. And then I'm loading the R modules and the CUDA also. And then I'm running it. And it's almost exactly the same on LUNARC, aside from the project ID and how you ask for a GPU, in this case, an A100. And this is the R script. So let's again try and run that. And remember to do the SQ minus, in this case, you will have to do SQ minus M minus me and minus M Snowy in order to actually be told what is pending on Snowy, because otherwise it will only tell you what is pending on Rackham. So I'm going to submit this script here, and I will just check what it was called. I think it's called rscript. Yes. And that is, as you can see, submitted to Snowy. And with this command, I can see it is pending on Snowy. Whereas if I just wrote this, I don't get anything, because then I'm just checking on Rackham. So it's important you add the minus capital M Snowy. So try that also. And afterwards, we are going to look at an exercise also, and then that is it. So 2 minutes more for testing this. Okay. So I'm hoping you at least saw that the batch script got submitted and that you saw it was pending on Snowy and maybe ran there, or on Cosmos and or HPC2N, depending on where you were running. So I will continue, and then there is an exercise here for you to try. And this is the exercise where you need the deuterium that you installed to this isolated environment with Renv. And again, if you are at UPPMAX, then the deuterium is already installed in the R packages, so you don't need it there. But if you are at HPC2N or Cosmos, then you need it to be installed. So because of that, if you're at one of those, you need to run inside your R underscore project, or whatever you called your R project that you used for the Renv. So you need to run it within that or load it, and then you can submit this and see that it runs. So I'm going to see if it runs for me here. And it doesn't because I hadn't copied it there. Let's see. And I could also just load it, but in this case, I'm going to actually copy it here. It's not good when I like this instead, of course. So now it should run, as you can see, because it's using the deuterium that I installed to my R project in the Renv back then. But if I was trying to run it outside it, it would not run because it wouldn't see the package deuterium. If you're on Rackham, you can just run it immediately because you didn't need to install it. If you're on HPC2N, it is like on Cosmos. So you can try and see if you can get this to run. And otherwise, you can also see if you can create a batch script. There are already batch script examples for this here. It's called validation minus the cluster in case. So let's open one of those here. And yeah, you need to go to the Renv, of course. So, or load it. But I think that we are soon done. And if you want to, you can try at least see this run. And then if you want to later, you can see if you can create this batch script here for the validation.r. And there are batch scripts to look at in the exercises/r directory. I think maybe wait 1-2 minutes and then continue on to the summary and evaluation.